Hey everyone, how you doing? My name is Mary Liz Biuba. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. There's a bit of background noise. I hope it's been cancelled. If it's not, there's not much I can do. There's a church here and they talk all the time. Daytime, nighttime, they don't care. But I'm here to do a video that I've been meaning to do for a while. And I feel like between the protests and everything that has been going on and my safety and all that kind of stuff, I've kind of gone slow on these things. And so, yeah, if you're new here, my name is Mary Liz Biuba. I'm a human rights activist, feminist defender, and yeah, please subscribe to my channel. Let me fix this. If you can, please subscribe to my channel. I'll really appreciate. Today I want to speak about things not to say to people living with chronic pain or diseases that I would consider lifetime diseases. Like, there's no cure. The best way to manage them is through treatments that you have to be on all your life and all that jazz. The reason I felt compelled to do this video is because of the things people say. And I think top of the list is when people say, and I know it's very well meaning, because I know most of the time when people are checking up on you, they're wishing you well. So there's nothing wrong with wishing you well. But like, people like saying, get well soon. I don't know if you understand the frustration a person living with chronic pain or a person who has a disease that has no cure, the frustration they feel, but also the hurt they feel when you tell them, I wish you speedy recovery, because realistically there's no recovering. Do they get better? Yes. Do they wish they could heal? Yes. And that's what possibly makes it very frustrating, because they wish well for themselves. I don't think there's anyone who sits and wishes evil on themselves or wishes bad things on themselves. And unless someone is extremely suicidal, there's no day when a person wakes up and feels like it's okay for them to be told something that would insinuate, or rather it's okay for them to be told something is impossible because they feel like they're done with life and all that kind of stuff. So realistically speaking, when you tell someone, wish you speedy headache, speedy recovery, malaria, speedy recovery, a condition that is actually treatable and you can heal from, it's okay for you to tell me speedy recovery because I know I will recover from this. But when you're telling me speedy recovery from something that I'll not recover from, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Second thing, suggesting. Many times people are busy suggesting alternatives. One of the biggest frustration a person living with any condition that they have to live with their whole lives or chronic pain, one of the things they will do constantly is try to seek remedies and try to seek solutions, if any. So when you learn about someone having a condition and you start suggesting things, either you've heard people saying they work, you've tried them and all that kind of stuff, and you want to recommend them to them, it feels as if you're assuming the person has not tried all that they can. Sometimes even the reason you have knowledge of them having that sickness is because they dealt with it for so long and they decided to share so that they can have people's opinion and all that kind of stuff. So trust me, if they wanted opinion, they've had a lot of opinion. You can't be another person who feels like they have an opinion. Always replace a quick recovery and an opinion with, I am here for you. What can I do to help? And what can I do to help doesn't have to always come from you have to physically do something to help. What can I do to help essentially just means asking them what's the best way you can be there for them. They know how you can be there for them. You can't know how you can be there for them. So always learn to replace quick recovery and recommendations with, I'm here for you, or what can I do to help the situation. Yeah. Third thing is recommending doctors. I remember before I even had confidence to go to the hospital and get checked and get diagnosed with endometriosis, PCOS, adenomyosis, and all that. I remember before I went to the hospital for that, I had gone to a number of doctors, and what I had faced was violation. What I had faced was invalidation of my experience. Doctors would make it seem like it's okay for me to go through pain. I had my period since late in primary school, and I went through painful cramps and over 5 days of menstruation and, treatments during my menstruation since I was in primary school. So trust me, by the time I'm having my diagnosis, I've gone through the 9 yard. And I've gotten this, by the time I'm telling you I have this and this and this and this. Yes, I do know in some cases wanting the second opinion is a thing, but I feel like that is also very intimate information. People who can recommend second opinion to me already knew and probably already recommended, and already I went for the second opinion and I already had the second opinion. So if you're not a person who is like, for example, don't have one, but like if it's my sibling telling me that, or my parent or whatever, the case would be totally different, because probably they have been there through that situation with me. Whereas if it's a total stranger, especially internet strangers, it changes the trajectory of everything, because whether we like it or not, I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't know the efforts I've put, you don't know. And I think the last one that I want to speak about is the false hope. Not the last one, really, the second last. The false hope, telling people you will be okay. Yeah? The reason I say this is because most of the time it has taken so much for the person having these conditions to come to terms with the fact that they have the condition. So when you tell them it will be okay, you're really running down the effort they've put, the work they've put, the self-acceptance that they've done to come to that place. So you don't have to tell them you'll be okay. Possibly, by the time you're finding out about their condition, they're the most okay they could ever be. And they don't need anyone to remind them that that okayness can be chipped on, right? They just need affirmation is very, very important for someone who lives with chronic pain and someone who lives with these conditions that you can live with your whole life. Yeah? And I think last but not least, if you can't help someone with this kind of condition, and by help here, I'm not leaving you many options. I'm letting you know right here, right now, that unless it's conditions that these people have already figured out ways to manage and they're good, or there are conditions they're struggling and they need, most of the time the biggest need is financial support and maybe psychological support, and all these things essentially just means money. Unless you're willing to support this person financially, unless you're willing to provide financially and all that kind of stuff, sometimes silence is okay too. Just stay silent. It's fine. I promise you, it will take someone who has this condition a lifetime to recognize you never said something than if you said something hurtful, something that was inconsiderate, something that invalidated the process, something that didn't put into consideration that this is something they would live with their whole life, and something that was not productive to them in any way, shape, or form. So learn to put a stop to this situation from a point where you are like, if I can't help, it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty for not being able to help. Most of the time, even we can't help ourselves because we are helpless. And so we understand someone not knowing how to help. What we don't understand is when someone, uses all these methods that are not productive but put a lot of stress and frustration on you. That's what I wanted to say. For anyone who lives with chronic pain, for anyone who lives with a lifetime condition, please leave your comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. People with disability as well, because I feel like all these things fall under the same spectrum and all that kind of stuff. And if you're new here, please remember to subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate. For those who are not new here, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Ruto must go and reject finance bill.